Chris Rock is obsessed with Pinkett Smith, insiders claim. People close to Jada Pinkett Smith have claimed Chris Rock is obsessed with the actor as their long-running feud rumbles on. A source close to Pinkett Smith, 51, has spoken to People, suggesting that Rock cannot leave the star alone. It comes after Rock, 58, spoke at length about the actor on his recent live Netflix special Selective Outrage. The special, which was filmed in Pinkett Smith's hometown of Baltimore, sees the comedian discuss the infamous Oscars incident where Pinkett Smith's husband Will Smith slapped the comedian after he joked about her while presenting the 2022 ceremony. Actor Will Smith was subsequently banned from all Academy events for 10 years. The source said, Jada has had no part in all of this other than being heckled. Chris is obsessed with her and that's been going on for almost 30 years. Look where he chose to film his Netflix special. Her hometown, of Baltimore. Obsessed. In the show, Rock claims Pinkett Smith asked him not to host the Oscars after her husband was snubbed for his performance in 2015's Concussion. He said, years ago, his wife said I should quit the Oscars. I shouldn't host cause her man didn't get nominated for Concussion. And then he gives me a effing concussion. The source disputed this, claiming, she never asked Chris to not host ever. She publicly said in a Facebook post at the time Chris would be a great Oscars host and is perfect for the job. Chris Rock's representatives have been contacted for comment. It comes after Academy Chief Executive Bill Kramer said a crisis team had been introduced to ensure the smooth running of this year's event. Mr. Kramer said the team had run many scenarios ahead of the 95th Academy Awards, which is due to take place on the 12th of March and be hosted by U.S. comedian Jimmy Kimmel. In an interview with Time magazine, Kramer was asked if any measures had been put in place to mitigate potential surprises at this year's awards. Absolutely, and that's why you want someone like Jimmy Kimmel on stage who is used to dealing with live TV. Things don't always go as planned, he told Time. So you have a host in place who can really pivot and manage those moments. But we have a whole crisis team, something we've never had before, and many plans in place. We've run many scenarios. So it is our hope that we will be prepared for anything that we may not anticipate right now but that we're planning for just in case it does happen. Earlier this month, the president of the Academy, Janet Young, said the organization's response to the unprecedented Smith incident had been inadequate. Speaking at the annual Oscar nominees luncheon, Ms. Young said the Academy had learned to be fully transparent and accountable in our actions. Particularly in times of crisis, we must act swiftly and compassionately and decisively for ourselves and for our industry, she said. You should and can expect no less from us going forward. Meanwhile, the father of tennis champions Venus and Serena Williams has defended Smith's actions. Smith portrayed Richard Williams in the biopic film King Richard, which won him a Best Actor Oscar last year. Mr. Williams, who has recently recovered from a series of health conditions, shared his support for Smith on Good Morning Britain, saying that he didn't feel sorry for Rock. The 81-year-old said, I think he has done the best thing he needed to do, but I would never be disgusted with Mr. Smith. Matter of fact, I appreciate Mr. Smith. When asked if he saw any wrongdoing in what happened at the Oscars, Williams said, I don't see nothing wrong with that. He also said, it's time for everyone to forgive Will Smith.